So the the main goal of this is for you to understand the importance of understanding eligibility results, how to handle a DMI, and how to read the eligibility determination letter. And then these skills are supposed to help protect clients from coverage loss, make you a better, more trustworthy agent. So that is our goal for the meeting today, and hope that you will take at least something new out of this if you haven't. If you already are familiar with this, but if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then perfect, you're in the right place. So, understanding an eligibility result. What an eligibility result is, this is after you submit an application, whether it's through healthcare.gov, Health Sherpa, or another approved EDE platform, you will always get an eligibility notice right after the submission. What that means, it is if your client is eligible or not. Now, some of them can be eligible and still have like a DMI or something different. So, long story short, these are the different categories of an eligibility result. Fully eligible, no issues, coverage is approved and active. What that means, they may have a subsidy, they may not, depending on their income level and state. And it will tell you right there on the eligibility notice if they do have a subsidy. The next one is eligible with a DMI. So that means coverage is active. Not obviously need to select the plan, so it's just saying that the coverage can be approved, but documents are needed to keep subsidies or maintain enrollment. We will jump into that in a little bit. Ineligible, no subsidy or enrollment denied based on income, citizenship, or other reasons. So this would be, maybe they enrolled outside of open enrollment, they don't have an SEP, and beyond that, they don't qualify for a subsidy. And then last one here says pending application still requires verification, usually for a qualifying event during SEP. So kind of the same as ineligible. That would just be another reason why. So how to read the eligibility determination letter? Like I mentioned, where you find it, it's immediately available after the application is submitted in the client's healthcare.gov, or like I said, another approved EDE platform. It will automatically generate and pop up. So what you need to look for is the household eligibility result. Look at each person's coverage and subsidy status, and then look for any notes about required action or follow-up. The subsidy status will tell you how much subsidy they would qualify for. At that point, you can determine if the client wants to use all of it, some of it, or none of it. And then if any notes about follow-up, that would be like a data matching issue. Maybe something didn't line up on the application. So what you need to do, this is the most important section for a data matching issue. It will list exactly what documents are needed and for which household member. And it does give you a submission deadline. Typically, it is 90 days from the date of the letter. How you submit documents. So the platform will provide you instructions for how to upload the document online or to mail them. I wouldn't even suggest mailing them at all. I would just suggest uploading them. And then with that being said, it will give you notes if, there's Medicaid or CHIP coverage. Sometimes this section will show if someone was just automatically routed to a Medicaid approval. And that at that point, obviously, that would not be something that you would be doing, but you can send their application to Medicaid for approval, but they would not be considered eligible for a marketplace plan and subsidy. So most important thing out of this section is just understand that determination letter gives you all of the information you need to know. Okay, next up here, what you want to watch for on the determination letter is if it says you must send documents, it's a clear indicator of a DMI. Phrases like we cannot verify your income, immigration status, social security number. Make sure that you look over exactly what is being requested. That way you can get that information submitted on that first phone call. Reason I say on that first phone call, I'll go into it here in a little bit. But agents and brokers, they will get a DMI that pops up and populates from the determination letter. And then they say, oh, okay, we got a few months. We'll worry about this later. Well, I'll tell you one thing, your client's not going to do it. You need to be doing it as their agent. So why not get it done on that first phone call? You're not going to run into problems later. So what is a DMI and why do they matter? A DMI, like I mentioned earlier, it's a data matching issue. And this is what happens when the marketplace can't verify what the client reported on their application. So the most common one that you're going to run into, it's going to be income, it'll be immigration, citizenship, social security number, incarceration, Native American status. Beyond that, there are other ones that you will see. These are just the common ones, especially income or the social security number not matching up. But with that being said, you need to get that information sorted out right then and there with the client. You have up to 90 days for the client and yourself to resolve that issue. But if you don't do it in that time, the subsidies may be removed, the plan could terminate, and the premiums could increase significantly due to the loss of subsidy. So if you have a client, we'll say they're on a $0 premium, which is a pretty common one, and they need to submit income statements, and you as an agent say, we'll do this later. You don't actually do it. Most of the time you won't. That plan could go from $0 and hike all the way up to $400. Your client's not going to pay that. So make sure that you get the information and do it quickly. How DMI show up? It's found in the what you need to do section of the eligibility letter, and it also sometimes is listed in your agent platform or Health Sherpa, and Marketplace will typically send emails and alerts as well. Your client will receive paper mail. So what documents do you need to submit by the DMI type? Income DMI, you can do pay stubs, make sure the name, date, and employer is on there, a W-2 or a tax 1040, an employer letter, self-employment invoice, ledger, or statement. If it's Social Security, we actually don't typically run into that problem anymore. It won't even let you submit the application.